What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a custom of somebody you may or may not have actually heard of. It's somebody that's tearing it up on the indie scene. And today, the custom that we're going to be talking about is none other than Allie Katch. So let's get right on into it. Alright, so first of all, this formula was an absolute headache. Because I don't know if you guys have seen what she looks like. She's what we would like to call slim thick. So the Mattel bodies go from Becky Lynch to either Dewdrop or Nia Jax. Allie Katch isn't that size. She isn't that size whatsoever. So then you're like, well, obviously she's either gonna have to be way too, or she's either gonna have to be a little too small or way too big. Obviously you're gonna go for the little too small because the way too big is just glaringly obvious, and she wouldn't look right compared to anybody else that she's supposed to be like lined up with, if you know what I mean. So the formula for this custom is obviously a custom head. We'll get into that in a minute. It is the Elite 90, I believe, Reckoning Elite, the one of Mia Yim. That's what it is. And the thighs are from Dewdrop because she's got bigger legs, so you gotta go and figure out what to do from there. And since it has like the pantyhose look, you can get away with the legs being darker because that's typically what happens when women wear pantyhose. Their legs appear darker. I mean, just look at the Roxanne Perez. You take a look at her face and her arms, and then how much darker her legs are. So that is, I mean, it's just what's going to happen. So I went from there, and then I sent it over to Alpha Action Figs. I said, hey, can you fix the upper part of it? Because on the Reckoning Elite, the cleavage area is open, like with lots of women's figures. So I need it to be like a solid surface. You know what I mean? I need you to kind of close it in. So he's like, yeah, I got you. So then it went to this top, which is 100% accurate, but it's what we could do. And that is what it was. Both of them were on ball joints, so it was an easy swap of the legs from one figure to the next. And that's where we are today. Now, the head comes from the head customizer Riot Zoo. I'm sure you guys have heard about him. This is the hair up variant. There's one with the hair down and one with the hair up. I wanted the hair up. That's what she's normally rocking anyways. So it has the pink bun, and I like the sculpt of the hair going back there. It's a little chunky at certain parts, but it does what it needs to do. And I do like the look of the smirk on her face. Now, you guys know I had House 14 paint the head for me, and he's just not much of a female painter. So this is one of the first ones he's done. So I was like, apply makeup, just make it look as good as you can, and we'll go from there. He's like, all right, I got you, I guess. So that is what happened. I got these tattoos special ordered from Curb Stomp City Decals. As you see, she has the butterfly up there. She has the dagger with like the dripping down and everything. Then she has more flowers right at the back of her arm here. What is that? It looks like a bear sitting in a flower up there. I know it's hard for that to be like in focus. And like a broken diamond, and then some other kind of animal in a flower and a broken diamond. Then you go over to her other arm. She has a crying woman inside of a heart. Obviously the most recognizable of her tattoos being Cinderella. And she has something on the inside of her arm. Looks like Ghostface from Scream. Oh, and she has something on the inside of her other arm. That looks like a gorilla. It looks like a new school gorilla? No, it looks like a traditional gorilla. Okay, yeah. But I really wanted to make this specific attire of hers. I know she may have some that are like more iconic or whatever, but I'm a big Disney fan, so I went with her poison apple attire, and you guys will see what I'm talking about in a second. I wanted him to do this green metallic look to it. And it's not coming off well on camera because I have lights, obviously, for video. But there's like a yellow pearlescent shine on top of this. Then come down here, the waist is painted red because she does wear the high-waisted pants. Has the green dripping with the red at the bottom. We come to the back. got the green continuation at the top, and then you have the poison apple, which is based off of the evil witch, I believe her name is, from the original Snow White cartoon, how she wants Snow White to eat the poison apple. Well, that's what it is. And I had to look up so many reference images of this just to make sure that we got it how it's supposed to be. And that is what we ended up coming away with. And now, you would think with the thicker thighs, she wouldn't have, well, I was about to say she wouldn't have that good of articulation. She does. I haven't had that happen before. But you can just pop that right back on. So when they eventually release a thigh that is smaller, but still bigger, if that makes sense, I will definitely be changing it, because I think the torso is a hair too small, and I think the legs are a hair too big. So I need like some middle ground there, and the only other thing I could have done was use like men's thighs, and that just didn't feel right, so I didn't want to have to go pop it apart at the knee and go from there. But since we have Allie Katch here, let's go ahead and compare her to some of the people that she has had run-ins with. We have Chelsea Green. I don't know if they've had a run-in per se, but they are both part of the Major Pod universe, so it seems like a fitting comparison. Then let's go ahead and compare her to one of my new favorite figures because of just how well it is made. We have the Elite 106 Roxanne Perez. As you see, Allie Katch is nice and tall over Roxanne, because Roxanne might be the smallest figure we've gotten from Mattel besides Dominic or Nicholas. So that looks good. And then after that, since she is part of the Major Pod network, let's go ahead and add her in with Matt Cardona. I do not like these Super 7 figures. And let's add Brian Myers in beside her. And I think those scale very, very well, especially if you know their history. I mean, she's had a figure put out by them in their Major Bendy's line. And she's been tearing it up in GCW with Matt. Not so much Brian anymore because he's signed full-time to Impact. But she was tearing it up alongside Matt and Chelsea. But obviously Chelsea's not signed there anymore. I'm working on a Steph DeLander to go with her, but it's a hard formula to try and put together, so that's the only issue that I'm having. But I do think these two look very well together, especially as far as the size goes. And then let's go ahead and compare her with another female deathmatch wrestler. How about the Elite 107 Cora Jade? And I think that looks very well together. Let's go ahead and get that to focus again. There we go. Also, if you're wanting deathmatch accessories, look up Tiny Implements of Death on Instagram, or my buddy House14 has like pizza cutters and stuff like that, which is what they use in GCW, like staple guns like Swerve just used, or pizza cutters, which is what she has used before in the past. Like, she's got some crazy hardcore matches, and I'm not about that life. She's too tough for me, obviously. So I'm really very satisfied with this custom, with all the people that went into it. Once again, you guys know all my customs are always a collaborative effort. It's never just one person. You got to take the people that you think is best for the job and then have them do that specific part. And then you get a custom that you are overall satisfied with. But that is going to be it for today's video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next in Custom Showcase down in the comments below. And last but not least, take it easy.